Kindness is often seen as a virtue, a reflection of love, compassion, and humility. It is a powerful force that can transform lives, bring healing, and build relationships. However, kindness is not meant to be given without wisdom. It is not a weakness, nor should it be something that others take for granted or use as a means to manipulate and control. When kindness is given indiscriminately, it can be misused, leaving the giver drained, discouraged, and even vulnerable to harm. Many people struggle with the idea of setting boundaries when it comes to kindness because they fear appearing unloving or selfish. However, true kindness does not mean allowing oneself to be walked over or taken advantage of. Jesus himself, the greatest example of kindness and love, did not allow himself to be manipulated. While he healed the sick, fed the hungry, and showed mercy to sinners, he also walked away from people who rejected him. He did not force himself upon those who had no desire to receive him. He spoke the truth, yet he did not waste his energy on those who sought to twist his words or use his miracles for their own benefit without genuine faith. This shows us that kindness must be accompanied by discernment. Not everyone who seeks our kindness does so with pure intentions. Some may see it as an opportunity to use us, to drain us emotionally, financially, or spiritually. That is why it is important to recognize that kindness, when misplaced, can lead to unnecessary pain. Many people assume that saying no to someone is unkind. However, saying no can sometimes be the kindest thing we can do. If someone repeatedly takes advantage of our generosity without any regard for our well-being, we are not helping them by continuing to give without limits. Instead, we are enabling unhealthy behavior. Kindness should uplift, encourage, and empower others, not allow them to remain in destructive patterns. When kindness is taken for granted, it loses its true purpose. That is why it is essential to understand that kindness is a gift, not an obligation. It should be given with love, but also with wisdom. Some people will only take and never give in return. They will drain the energy, time, and resources of those around them without a second thought. They will expect kindness but never reciprocate it. This is why discernment is necessary. If we continue to extend kindness to those who only take advantage, we will eventually feel depleted, bitter, and exhausted. That is not the purpose of kindness. Kindness should bring joy, not exhaustion. It should bring peace, not regret. When we give kindness, we should be mindful of where and to whom we give it. It is not unkind to protect your heart, your energy, and your peace. It is not unkind to step away from relationships that only take and never give. It is not unkind to set boundaries that ensure you are not being manipulated. Kindness should not come at the cost of your well-being. If a person repeatedly disrespects, deceives, or disregards you, continuing to show them kindness in the same way only enables their behavior. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is remove yourself from a situation where your kindness is being exploited. Kindness should be given where it has the potential to make a real difference. It should be extended to those who genuinely appreciate it, who understand its value, and who will use it to better themselves and others. There is a difference between being kind and being naive. When we continue to be kind to those who are toxic, manipulative, or self-serving, we are not truly helping them, nor are we helping ourselves. We are simply allowing them to continue in their ways without accountability. The Bible teaches that we should be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. This means that while we are called to be kind, we are also called to be discerning. We must recognize when our kindness is being abused and when it is truly needed. Jesus did not allow himself to be controlled by the demands of the crowds. He showed kindness, but he also set boundaries. He spent time with those who were sincere, who desired truth, and who were willing to change. He did not waste his time on those who only wanted to use him for their own gain. There are times when kindness looks like tough love. Sometimes kindness means telling someone no, even when they expect a yes. Sometimes kindness means stepping away from a relationship that is harmful. Sometimes kindness means speaking the truth, even when it is difficult. True kindness does not always mean giving people what they want. It means doing what is best for them, even if they do not realize it at the moment. Many people struggle with guilt when they begin to set boundaries with their kindness. They worry that they're not being a good person if they say no, if they walk away, or if they refuse to be taken advantage of. But kindness, when given wisely, does not come with guilt. It comes with peace. When we are kind in the right way, we will not feel drained or resentful. We will feel fulfilled, knowing that our kindness is making a difference in the right places. Not everyone deserves access to your kindness. Not everyone deserves to have unlimited access to your time, your energy, or your resources. Some people will never appreciate what you do for them, no matter how much you give. Some people will continue to take as long as you allow them. It is up to you to decide where your kindness should be invested. If someone does not value your kindness, you are not obligated to continue giving it. True kindness requires balance. It requires wisdom. It requires the ability to recognize when to give and when to withhold. It requires knowing when to walk away and when to stay. It requires understanding that being kind does not mean being a doormat. It means being strong enough to know your worth and to protect what you have to give. Kindness is a beautiful virtue, one that reflects love, compassion, and grace. It has the power to heal wounds, restore relationships, and bring light into a dark world. But not everyone values kindness in the same way. Some see it as a weakness, something to exploit rather than appreciate. Others take it for granted, expecting it as an entitlement rather than receiving it with gratitude. This is why it is important to be discerning in how we extend kindness. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your kindness. And not every situation calls for the same level of generosity and patience. There are times when kindness must be balanced with wisdom, and there are moments when withholding kindness can actually be the kindest thing to do. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that kindness means always saying yes, always being available, and always giving without limit. While it is good to be generous, generosity without boundaries can lead to exhaustion, resentment, and even harm. Some people will take advantage of a kind heart, seeing it as an opportunity to manipulate, deceive, or control. They may demand more than they should, never reciprocate, or use your kindness as a tool to further their own selfish agenda. This is why it is necessary to recognize when kindness is no longer kindness, but instead an open door for misuse. Kindness should be given, but it should not be wasted. The Bible warns against throwing pearls before swine, meaning that valuable things should not be given to those who will trample them underfoot. This applies to kindness as well. When someone repeatedly disrespects, manipulates, or abuses your kindness, continuing to give it in the same way only enables their behavior. True kindness does not mean allowing yourself to be mistreated. It means knowing when to step back, when to protect your heart, and when to redirect your kindness toward those who will value it. There are people in life who will never be satisfied, no matter how much kindness you show them. They will always expect more, demand more, and take more without any appreciation. These people are not just ungrateful, they are toxic. They drain the energy of those around them, leaving them feeling used and depleted. If you find yourself constantly giving to someone who never gives in return, who never acknowledges your efforts, or who only comes to you when they need something, it may be time to reconsider where your kindness is being invested. Kindness should never be at the expense of your own well-being. There is a difference between being selfless and being self-destructive. Being kind does not mean allowing others to treat you poorly. It does not mean tolerating disrespect, dishonesty, or abuse. It does not mean sacrificing your own peace for the sake of pleasing others. There is a time to give and there is a time to withhold. There is a time to be patient and there is a time to walk away. Recognizing this balance is key to maintaining both your kindness and your strength. It is important to remember that kindness should be rooted in love, and love includes accountability. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is say no. Sometimes kindness looks like holding someone responsible for their actions rather than allowing them to continue in destructive behavior. Sometimes kindness means creating distance, setting boundaries, and refusing to be mistreated. Jesus himself, the ultimate example of kindness, did not allow himself to be used or manipulated. He extended grace, but he also spoke truth. He showed mercy, but he also walked away from those who rejected him. This is a reminder that kindness is not about pleasing everyone. It is about doing what is right. Another mistake people make is believing that withholding kindness makes them a bad person. There is often a sense of guilt that comes with setting boundaries, as if saying no or distancing oneself from toxic individuals is an act of cruelty. But protecting yourself from those who take advantage of your kindness is not selfish, it is necessary. If someone does not respect you, if they do not value what you offer, or if they only come around when they need something, you are not obligated to continue giving. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and true kindness flows from a place of strength, not weakness. People who truly appreciate kindness will not take it for granted. They will not expect it as a right, but will receive it with gratitude. They will recognize the effort behind it and will seek to reciprocate in their own way. These are the people who deserve your kindness, who will be uplifted by it rather than exploit it. Investing in these relationships is far more meaningful than wasting energy on those who do not appreciate what you give. Kindness should be a reflection of love, but love is not blind. Love sees the truth and it acts accordingly. If your kindness is being met with disrespect, if your generosity is being taken advantage of, or if you find yourself being drained rather than fulfilled, it is time to reassess. Being kind does not mean allowing yourself to be walked over. It means knowing your worth, protecting your peace, and giving where your kindness will truly make a difference. True kindness requires wisdom. It requires knowing when to give and when to withhold. It requires understanding that not everyone will value what you offer, and that some people will see kindness as an opportunity rather than a gift. It requires strength to set boundaries, to walk away when necessary, and to choose where your kindness is best invested. Kindness is often seen as a virtue that should be extended to everyone without hesitation. It is a beautiful quality that reflects love, generosity, and grace. However, not everyone appreciates kindness, and some may even see it as an opportunity to manipulate, deceive, or take advantage of those who freely give it. This is why it is crucial to recognize when your kindness is being misused. There are people who do not see kindness as a gift, but as a weakness to exploit. They will take and take, never giving in return, and eventually they will drain the very essence of kindness out of a person. This is why wisdom and discernment are essential in choosing where and how to extend kindness. Some people will enter your life only for their own benefit. They are not interested in a genuine relationship, nor do they truly care about you. Instead, they see what you offer and what they can gain from it. These individuals may be charming, persuasive, and even seemingly appreciative at first, but over time, their true intentions become clear. They will continue to take without considering how their actions affect you. When kindness is consistently given without boundaries, it enables these people to keep using others for their own advantage. It is important to recognize when someone is only in your life for what you can provide, whether it is emotional support, resources, or simply the effort you put into the relationship. Another way kindness can be misused is through manipulation. There are people who know how to play the victim in order to get what they want. They will appeal to your compassion, make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, and use emotional tactics to keep you engaged in a cycle of giving. They may make you feel as if you are the only one who can help them, that without you they will fall apart. However, true kindness is not about enabling unhealthy behavior. If your kindness is being used as a tool for manipulation, it is no longer serving a good purpose. Real kindness is about lifting others up, not allowing them to pull you down through their deception. Kindness is also wasted when it is given to those who are disrespectful. If someone does not respect you, your time, or your efforts, they do not deserve the same level of kindness as someone who truly values and appreciates it. Respect is a foundation for healthy interactions, and when it is missing, kindness can become a way for the other person to continue taking advantage of you. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, dismisses your feelings, or treats you as if your kindness is an obligation rather than a gift, they are showing you that they do not truly appreciate what you offer. In these situations, continuing to be kind in the same way only enables their behavior and teaches them that there are no consequences for their actions. One of the greatest dangers of offering kindness without discernment is the toll it takes on your emotional and mental well-being. Constantly giving to people who do not appreciate it can leave you drained, exhausted, and even resentful. You may find yourself wondering why your kindness is not being returned, or why the people you have helped the most seem to be the ones who care the least. This is because kindness, when given without boundaries, can attract those who only wish to take. If you continue giving without considering your own needs, you may end up feeling used, unappreciated, and empty. This is why setting limits on your kindness is not selfish. It is necessary for your own health and well-being. There is also a difference between kindness and people-pleasing. Many people mistake the two, thinking that being kind means always saying yes, never disappointing others, and always putting others' needs before their own. However, kindness does not mean neglecting yourself. True kindness comes from a place of strength, not from a desire to gain approval or avoid conflict. People-pleasing often leads to burnout and frustration because it is rooted in fear rather than genuine care. When kindness is given out of obligation rather than a sincere desire to help, it loses its true essence. Learning to say no when necessary is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of wisdom. There will always be people who mistake kindness for weakness. They assume that because you are kind, you will tolerate anything, that you will never stand up for yourself, and that you will always be available for them no matter how they treat you. These people do not see kindness as a reflection of inner strength, but rather as an opportunity to manipulate and control. However, kindness is not the same as weakness. Being kind does not mean allowing others to walk over you, take advantage of you, or disrespect you. Strength and kindness can coexist, and true kindness often requires the courage to walk away from those who do not appreciate it. It is important to be mindful of who you surround yourself with. If you find that your kindness is constantly being taken for granted, it may be time to evaluate the people in your life. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, appreciation, and reciprocity. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely care about you and who appreciate your kindness will create an environment where kindness can thrive rather than be drained. When you invest your kindness in those who value it, you will find that it multiplies, bringing joy and fulfillment instead of exhaustion and frustration. At the core of kindness is love. But love also includes wisdom. Love does not enable destructive behavior, nor does it allow itself to be taken for granted. Love, in its truest form, knows when to give and when to withhold. It recognizes when kindness is making a positive impact and when it is being wasted on those who do not appreciate it. Kindness should never come at the expense of your own dignity or self-worth. Being discerning about where and how you extend kindness ensures that it remains a force for good rather than becoming something that others use for their own selfish gain. Kindness is often spoken about as a virtue, something that should be given freely and abundantly. It is a reflection of love, compassion, and empathy. However, not everyone deserves your kindness. Some people see kindness as an opportunity to exploit, manipulate, or take advantage of those who offer it without reservation. This is why it is important to understand that kindness should not be given without discernment. It should be extended wisely to those who appreciate and respect it rather than to those who will misuse it. When you learn to be intentional with your kindness, you protect your heart, your energy, and your well-being. There are people in the world who do not value kindness because they have learned to take from others without giving anything in return. These individuals see generosity as a weakness rather than a virtue. They will continue to take as long as you are willing to give, without ever showing gratitude or reciprocation. You may notice that no matter how much you do for them, it is never enough. They always need more, always expect more, and never acknowledge what you have already done. They do not see kindness as a gift. They see it as something they are entitled to. When you continue to give kindness to those who do not appreciate it, you are allowing yourself to be drained emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even financially. Kindness should also not be wasted on those who disrespect you. Respect and kindness go hand in hand. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, belittles you, or ignores your boundaries, they are showing you that they do not deserve the kindness you offer. Continuing to be kind to someone who consistently treats you poorly does not change them. It only allows them to continue their behavior without consequence. Some people mistake kindness for weakness. They assume that because you are kind, you will always be available to them, that you will tolerate their mistreatment, and that they can continue to take from you without ever giving back. This is why it is necessary to establish boundaries. Being kind does not mean allowing others to walk all over you. True kindness requires strength, the strength to walk away from those who do not value it. Manipulators often take advantage of kind-hearted individuals. They know how to use guilt, emotional appeals, and even flattery to get what they want. These people will make you feel responsible for their problems as if it is your duty to help them, even at your own expense. They may act as though you are the only person who can save them, pressuring you to give more than you are able to. But true kindness is not about being used. It is about genuinely helping others in a way that is healthy and beneficial for both parties. If someone only comes to you when they need something and disappears when you need support, they do not truly value your kindness. They only value what they can get from you. Kindness should be given where it makes a difference, not where it is wasted. When you pour kindness into relationships that are one-sided, you are neglecting those who actually appreciate and deserve it. There are people in your life who truly value you, who respect your time, your energy, and your efforts. These are the people who deserve your kindness. It is important to recognize who these people are and to invest your kindness in them rather than in those who will only take advantage of it. It is also necessary to be kind to yourself. Many people are so focused on being kind to others that they forget to extend that same kindness to themselves. They put the needs of others before their own to the point of exhaustion. But self-care is not. Taking care of yourself allows you to be in a better position to help those who truly need and deserve your kindness. When you constantly give without replenishing yourself, you risk burnout, resentment, and emotional fatigue. Being selective with your kindness is not cruel, it is wise. Another important aspect of kindness is learning to say no. Many people struggle with this because they fear disappointing others or being seen as unkind. But saying no does not mean you are unkind. It means you value yourself and your time. People who truly respect you will understand that you cannot always be available to them. Those who get angry when you say no are often the ones who are benefiting from your lack of boundaries. If someone only appreciates you when you are saying yes to them, they do not genuinely care about you. They only care about what you can do for them. Not everyone you meet is deserving of your kindness. Some people will test your patience, take advantage of your generosity, and continue to mistreat you regardless of how much kindness you show them. It is important to recognize when your kindness is not being appreciated and to have the courage to withhold it when necessary. Kindness is a gift, and like any gift, it should be given to those who truly appreciate it, not to those who expect it without gratitude. Surrounding yourself with people who value and respect your kindness creates a healthier and more fulfilling environment. When you choose to invest your kindness in the right people, you will find that it is reciprocated. Relationships built on mutual respect and appreciation are far more rewarding than those where kindness is one-sided. You deserve to be treated with the same kindness that you extend to others. Wisdom and discernment should always accompany kindness. Being kind does not mean tolerating toxic behavior. It does not mean allowing yourself to be drained by those who only take. It does not mean sacrificing your well-being for the sake of people who do not care about you. True kindness is about giving from a place of strength, not from a place of obligation or fear. It is about choosing where to invest your kindness so that it makes a positive difference. When you are wise with your kindness, you protect your heart and your energy. You ensure that your kindness is not wasted on those who do not appreciate it. You create space for relationships that are built on mutual care and respect. Being kind is a beautiful quality, but it should never come at the cost of your dignity, self-respect, or well-being. It is okay to walk away from those who do not value your kindness and to reserve it for those who do. There are moments in life when we must come to terms with the reality that not everyone around us is meant to stay. Some people enter our lives for a season, serving a purpose for a time, but not all relationships are meant to last forever. Understanding this truth is not always easy, especially when we have invested our time, emotions, and energy into people we care about. But learning to let go of those who no longer serve a positive role in our lives is essential for growth, peace, and emotional well-being. Holding on to the wrong people can keep us stuck in cycles of frustration, disappointment, and even pain. Some relationships are only meant to teach us lessons. Certain individuals come into our lives to help us learn something about ourselves, about life, or about our purpose. These relationships can be positive or painful, but they are never without meaning. The problem arises when we try to keep these people in our lives longer than they are meant to stay. We hold on because of memories, because of what once was, or because we fear being alone. But when a relationship no longer adds value to our lives, we must recognize that letting go is not a loss. It is a step towards something better. Not everyone is meant to walk the entire journey with you. Some people are only meant to accompany you for a certain distance before their path diverges from yours. This does not mean they were bad people or that the relationship was meaningless. It simply means that their role in your life has been fulfilled. When we try to force relationships to last beyond their natural course, we create unnecessary struggle and heartache. True growth requires that we release those who no longer belong so that we can embrace what is ahead. One of the biggest obstacles to letting go is emotional attachment. We become comfortable with people even when they no longer treat us well or contribute positively to our lives. We make excuses for them, hoping that things will return to how they used to be. But the reality is, people change, circumstances change. And sometimes the best thing we can do is accept that what once worked no longer does. Holding on out of nostalgia or fear of change only prolongs our own suffering. Letting go does not mean we stop caring. It does not mean we wish harm upon those we release. It simply means that we choose to prioritize our own peace and well-being. There are people who drain our energy, who take more than they give, who do not appreciate our presence. Keeping such people in our lives only leads to exhaustion and disappointment. It is not selfish to remove ourselves from relationships that no longer serve us. It is an act of self-respect. Growth often requires separation. When you are on a path of self-improvement, not everyone will be able to walk with you. Some people will resist your growth because they are comfortable with the version of you that you used to be. They may try to hold you back, discourage you, or make you feel guilty for changing. But real growth demands that we surround ourselves with people who support and uplift us, not those who keep us in the same place. Letting go of the wrong people makes space for the right ones. Toxic relationships are one of the greatest reasons why people struggle to move forward. Whether it is a friend who constantly criticizes you, a family member who manipulates you, or a partner who does not respect you, staying in these relationships can be damaging. It is important to recognize when a relationship has become toxic and have the courage to walk away. No matter how much history exists, no relationship is worth your peace of mind, self-worth, or happiness. Letting go can be painful, but what is even more painful is staying in a place where you are not valued. Sometimes we fear that if we let go of certain people, we will end up alone. But the truth is, the wrong company is lonelier than solitude. It is better to walk alone for a while than to walk with those who diminish your light. The right people will come when you create space for them. We must also let go of resentment. When relationships end, it is easy to hold on to bitterness, especially if we feel betrayed or hurt. But carrying resentment does not punish the other person. It only burdens us. Forgiveness does not mean excusing someone's actions, but it does mean choosing to free ourselves from the weight of negativity. We cannot move forward while clinging to the past. Letting go is not just about removing people from our lives. It is also about releasing the emotions that keep us tied to them. When you let go of the wrong people, you make room for peace, joy, and personal growth. It may not be easy, but it is necessary. The people who are meant to be in your life will respect you, appreciate you, and add value to your journey. You do not have to beg for someone's love, attention, or respect. True relationships do not require you to diminish yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Letting go is an act of trust. It is trusting that what is ahead is better than what is behind. It is trusting that God, the universe, or life itself has something greater in store for you. When we release what no longer serves us, we open ourselves to new opportunities, new relationships, and new blessings. Holding on out of fear keeps us stuck. But releasing with faith allows us to step into the fullness of what is meant for us. The process of letting go teaches us about ourselves. It reveals our strength, our worth, and our ability to move forward despite pain. It shows us that we are not defined by who leaves, but by who we become. Life is a journey of continuous transformation, and not everyone is meant to stay for the entire ride. Recognizing this truth and embracing it allows us to live with greater freedom, peace, and purpose. Life is a journey filled with lessons, experiences, and the constant evolution of who we are. Along this journey, we encounter people, circumstances, and moments that shape us in ways we never anticipated. But one of the most crucial realizations we must come to is that not everything and everyone is meant to stay. The ability to recognize when it is time to move forward, let go, and embrace the next chapter is essential for personal growth and inner peace. Holding on to the past, whether it be relationships, failures, regrets, or disappointments, can weigh us down and prevent us from stepping into the fullness of what life has to offer. We often find comfort in the familiar, even when it is no longer serving us. There is a sense of security in what we have known, even when it is painful or unfulfilling. It is natural to want to hold on, to believe that things will change, that people will become who we hope they will be, or that circumstances will shift in our favor if we just wait long enough. But the truth is, clinging to what is no longer meant for us can be one of the greatest barriers to our own happiness. Growth requires movement, and movement often requires release. Letting go is not about giving up or admitting defeat. It is about acknowledging that some things are not aligned with our purpose, our well-being, or our future. It is about understanding that we cannot force people to treat us right, situations to unfold in our favor, or the past to rewrite itself. We must accept that there are times when the best decision we can make is to step away, to close a chapter, and to trust that something greater awaits us beyond what we can currently see. One of the most difficult things to let go of is relationships that no longer contribute positively to our lives. Whether it is a friendship, a romantic relationship, or even family ties. There are moments when we realize that a connection has run its course. This realization does not come easily because we are often deeply invested in the people we care about. We want to believe in the best in them, to hold on to shared memories, and to avoid the pain of separation. But staying in a relationship that drains us, disrespects us, or keeps us from becoming our best selves does more harm than good. We must have the courage to walk away from those who do not reciprocate our love, respect, and effort. Letting go is also necessary when it comes to past mistakes and regrets. We all have moments we wish we could redo, words we wish we could take back, or choices we wish we had made differently. But dwelling on the past does not change it. Carrying guilt and shame only holds us captive to things we cannot undo. The only way to truly move forward is to learn from our experiences, forgive ourselves, and choose to focus on the present and the future. What matters is not where we have been, but where we are going. Fear is often the reason we struggle to let go. The fear of the unknown, of being alone, of making the wrong choice, or of facing the discomfort of change. But fear is a liar. It convinces us that staying in the wrong place is safer than stepping into the unknown. It tells us that we are not strong enough to move forward, that we are not worthy of better, or that we will never find something greater. But faith challenges fear. Faith reminds us that there is more for us beyond what we can see, that we are capable of new beginnings, and that our best days are not behind us. There is a sense of freedom that comes with letting go. When we release the weight of what no longer serves us, we create space for joy, peace, and new opportunities. We allow ourselves to heal, to grow, and to become who we are meant to be. We stop carrying burdens that were never ours to bear and start living with a sense of purpose and clarity. Holding on to the wrong things only blocks the right things from entering our lives. Forgiveness is a part of the process of letting go. We often think that forgiveness is for the benefit of the other person, but in reality, it is for us. Holding on to resentment, anger, and bitterness keeps us tied to the very pain we wish to escape. It does not mean excusing wrongs or forgetting what happened, but it does mean choosing to no longer let the past control our present. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the chains of negativity and make room for peace. Moving forward requires us to trust ourselves and trust in the journey. There will be times when we do not have all the answers, when we feel uncertain about what is next, and when we second-guess our decisions. But trust is what allows us to take the next step even when we cannot see the whole path. It allows us to believe that the ending of one thing is the beginning of something greater. We must also surround ourselves with people who encourage our growth. Not everyone will understand our journey, and not everyone will support our decisions. But we do not need the approval of others to do what is best for us. The right people will uplift us, challenge us to be better, and celebrate our progress. When we let go of toxic connections, we open the door for genuine relationships that add value to our lives. Letting go is an ongoing process. There will be moments when we feel the pull of the past, when nostalgia makes us question our choices, or when doubt creeps in. But we must remind ourselves why we chose to move forward in the first place. We must hold on to the truth that what is ahead is far greater than anything we have left behind. Life is too short to spend it clinging to things that do not bring us joy, peace, or fulfillment. The more we learn to release, the more we make space for the beautiful things that are meant for us. Every ending is a new beginning. Every closed door leads to another open one. And every step forward brings us closer to where we are meant to be.